YNW Melly's recent court hearing revealed a surprising twist, a newly proposed early release date, which he's pushing for despite strong objections from his legal team. In a dramatic moment during the hearing, Melly was seen visibly frustrated and yelling at his attorneys. According to reports, today's hearing marks the first time YNW Melly has openly defied his legal counsel in front of the court, highlighting growing tension between the rapper and his defense team.
Yes, sir. Against our advice, our client wants to proceed.
You object to their request. We need to determine this automatic stay.
Based upon what our client has instructed us.
The heated courtroom exchange centered around allegations of YNW Melly's gang involvement. As prosecutors presented evidence tying him to gang activity, Melly erupted in frustration, shouting at his legal team. Witnesses inside the courtroom reported hearing Melly angrily declare, "I don't care. I'm not in no gang. They can't prove that." His emotional outburst highlighted a growing disconnect between Melly and his defense strategy.
Where 924-071 call for an automatic stay while
they were aggravators. They go to membership in a gang. There are things that the jury would have to find before going into penalty.
Not aggravator, that's the death penalty. Aggravator, that's the gang enhancement itself, Your Honor. That's charged. He was charged in committing the murder for the further of the gang, which is an aggravator in terms of the guilt.
Something that they would have to find by way of an interrogatory.
Yes.
The reason YNW Melly seems unconcerned about whether the gang-related evidence is included in the trial is because of the massive delay it would cause. If his lawyers succeed in getting that evidence thrown out, the legal paperwork and appeals that follow could push the start of his trial all the way to 2027. That would mean Melly could end up sitting behind bars for 7 to 9 years without ever being convicted, a delay he's clearly not willing to accept.
We find this case to be under the most compelling circumstances. Mr. Demons, as I sit here today, has been in custody for 2,339 days. Besides Mr. Demons' cases, which I've removed, this division currently has 38 other cases, special set for trial. 22 of those are murder cases. Numerous of those are death cases. And right now, this division has trial special set in December of 2020.
However, the state is pushing for another delay in the trial to ensure all their evidence against YNW Melly is admitted in court. Prosecutors are determined to build the strongest possible case, aiming for a life sentence in the second trial. Their strategy hinges on having every piece of evidence available to secure a conviction.
Finally, Judge, just so, again, the record's clear, given Judge Murphy's order, and there would be an intent to comply with it, what the court is compelling the state to do is to go forward with evidence that has been suppressed. In other words, we would not be able to use that evidence.
You can't.
Right.
It's suppressed. That's exactly correct.
As of now, the attorneys could go to the appellant court and request that they issue a stay or place a hold on the trial, and that seems to be the only way that this trial does not move forward on the scheduled date. So if that doesn't happen, Melly trial number 2 will begin in about 2 months.
This development quickly caught the attention of YNW Melly's mother, who later took to Instagram Live to share the official update on when the trial is now expected to begin. Her reaction highlighted the emotional toll the ongoing delays are having on Melly's family.
So what happened today is the judge has said we are not delaying trial. We will be going to trial September 10th, even though there's things that's up with the 4th DCA that has been ruled to be suppressed and not able to be used in the upcoming trial. The judge is upholding those orders. So therefore, all of the, basically what was up on appeal was all of that stuff, what they were using as an enhancer in order to get the death penalty qualified. The judge ordered all of that to be suppressed. So moving forward onto the new trial, the state will not be able to bring in that evidence.
At the end of the hearing, YNW Melly's legal team made a final push, requesting that he be released on bond until the trial resumes in September. Unfortunately, the request was denied. As reported by the media, Melly's reaction to the denial was filled with frustration, especially considering he's now spent 2,320 days in jail without a single guilty verdict. The denial wasn't random, it was tied directly to what prosecutors are calling their insurance plan. They compiled a detailed evidence file specifically to convince the judge that Melly should remain behind bars until trial. This updated file reportedly includes some of the most damning evidence yet. According to court revelations, prosecutors claim Melly was unknowingly filmed just 5 hours after the murders of Sackheiser and Juvie, dancing in a parking lot alongside YNW Bortlen. In that same footage, Melly allegedly makes statements that prosecutors believe are a confession to the killings.
Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey. The dog still turned regardless of what happened. You already know.
showing not even a hint of remorse for the loss of his two closest friends. YNW Melly appeared completely unbothered in the footage, but what he didn't know was that he had been caught on camera once again this time, just 30 minutes before the murders took place. In the newly surfaced video, Melly is seen leaving the recording studio and getting into the back left seat of a Jeep, positioning himself as Sakaz or Juvie, and Bortlen prepared to join him inside the vehicle. This footage is now being used to piece together the final moments leading up to the tragic incident.
Excuse me, you able to see? Yes, all right.
This piece of evidence is crucial because, according to official court documents, the direction of the bullets traveling from left to right inside the vehicle supports the theory that the shots were fired from the back left seat, where YNW Melly was seated. To strengthen their argument, prosecutors even brought in Juvie's mother, who confirmed that her son was sitting in the exact spot targeted by those gunshots, further backing the claim that Melly was in the position to carry out the shooting.
Can you state your name, your full legal name for the jury?
Leon Phillips.
Okay. And are you related to one of the kids in this case?
Yes, I am.
How's that?
I'm his mother.
And who is that?
Christopher Thomas.
Ms. Phillips, did you see who entered into the occupants who entered into that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Do you recognize where your son entered that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Which seat, if you can identify for the jury?
He got in the back seat on the right-hand side.
Did you recognize the individual that got into the back seat on the left side, the rear driver's side?
Yes.
And who was that individual?
Janelle.
But that wasn't the only shocking piece of evidence prosecutors introduced in court. What came next was so controversial that many began questioning whether the Florida legal system was acting fairly at all. Authorities reportedly struck a deal with both YNW Melly's ex-girlfriend Mariah Hamilton and his co-defendant, YNW Bortlen. Here's how it unfolded. Mariah had been living outside of the United States since before Melly's original trial, and prosecutors claim they have proof that Melly either coerced her or paid her to flee the country so she wouldn't be able to testify against him. But after spending years abroad, Mariah attempted to return home to reunite with family. That's when she was immediately arrested at the airport, forcing her back into the spotlight and into the hands of investigators.
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
Mariah was reportedly struggling badly while in jail, both emotionally and mentally. So when she finally appeared in her first court hearing, she didn't hesitate to make a deal. According to reports, the judge offered her a clear ultimatum. If you agree to testify against YNW Melly and tell the full truth about what really happened to Sack Chaser and Juvie, you'll be free to go. Without hesitation, she accepted the offer, delivering a massive blow to Melly's defense. As soon as she was released, Mariah took to Facebook and wrote a message that read, "Thank you to my village. I love you all so much. God's plan, not mine." But what made this even more damaging for Melly was what investigators found in her iCloud account messages and data that allegedly showed Melly had pressured or manipulated her not to testify. During the original trial, this qualifies as witness tampering, a serious federal crime. If Mariah confirms these details in court, it could seal Melly's fate, potentially resulting in a life sentence.
State filing 6 new charges against Demons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
The most terrifying part of all this is that the witness tampering charge is completely separate from the double murder charges Melly is already facing. That means even if he's somehow found not guilty in the deaths of Sack Chaser and Juvie, a conviction for witness tampering alone could still land him a life sentence in prison. But it gets even darker. For months now, federal authorities have reportedly barred YNW Melly from using the jail phone, entirely cutting off all outside communication. Things got so severe that his mother, Jamie King, publicly spoke out in an emotional interview, accusing the county jail of violating his rights by denying him any access to phone calls.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail. They don't give it to him.
This strongly suggests that federal authorities have solid evidence YNW Melly was using the jail phone to engage in witness tampering. They wouldn't completely strip him of phone access based on a mere suspicion. Doing so without hard proof could lead to a massive lawsuit worth millions. But when you add in what YNW Bortlen is now expected to do, the situation becomes even more dangerous for Melly. What many people don't realize is that during the very first day of Melly's original trial, his own legal team *** tried to shift the blame onto Bortlen ***. That move may now come back to haunt them, especially if Bortlen chooses to cooperate with prosecutors in retaliation.
Those were his lies. Cortland Henry shows up at Memorial Hospital, Miramar. You don't see him sitting there, but where you will see him sitting is in the driver's seat of a car with two bodies, car riddled with. And when he shows up with a change of clothing, change of shirt, powder residue on his hands, evidencing that he had discharged a firearm. And he lies. He lies about where the incident occurred. He lies about how it occurred. And he lies about not having a phone. I think it was Miss Bradley herself who said, everybody has a phone in his pocket, not Cortland Henry.
It was actually YNW Melly's own lawyer who pointed the finger directly at YNW Bortlen during the original trial, telling both the judge and federal prosecutors that Bortlen had been lying to investigators from the start. The defense argued that Bortlen was the one with gunpowder residue on his hands, not Melly, and that he was the last person seen with Juvie and Sackhazer before their tragic deaths. To back up these claims, Melly's legal team even brought in a forensic expert who had analyzed the scene, testifying in detail about the residue found on Bortlen and the implications it carried in the investigation.
The right hand of Cortland Henry contained 0 particles characteristic of residue and two component particles, and the left hand contained 1 particle characteristic of residue and 1 2-component particle.
Okay. And can you explain to us what that means?
Basically, overall, there was residue present on the hands.
What many people don't realize is this may explain **YYNWO. Bortlen has been completely silent on social media for over a year. The last time he made headlines was the exact day YNW Melly's mistrial was granted, when Bortlen posted a cryptic tweet that read, "Mind games don't work on people like me," followed by a handshake emoji. The timing raised eyebrows, with many interpreting the message as him hinting at some kind of deal. That deal could very well involve Bortlen agreeing to be tried alongside Melly in the upcoming retrial. In fact, prosecutors have already filed paperwork to have them both tried together, meaning Bortlen and Melly will be sitting side by side in court for one very specific and strategic reason.
Here, and you can try them together. It is to the benefit of the state to try them together. It's just more efficient. You don't have to do things again and again. Do it all at once, and also you get a better chance of having them incriminate each other during the trial. It benefits the defense to sever it. That way they can point the finger at each other and get away with it. So this is what's going on. But I don't think it should be automatically severed because the state is seeking a penalty for Melly, because it's only the penalty phase of the trial that would be different, not the guilt phase. The guilt phase is the same. They're both capital crimes. You're seeking the penalty on one, not the other, but that goes into the second part of the trial, the penalty phase, only if Melly is found guilty.
It's simple logic. If YNW Bortlen knows he didn't commit the murders, there's no way he's going to silently accept a life sentence without defending himself. That makes it highly likely he'll eventually turn on YNW Melly and reveal what really happened to save himself. And with both of them being tried together, the pressure is mounting fast. Now, if you believe Melly deserves to be released, make sure to like this video and drop a comment below. Is he guilty or not? Let your voice be heard.